following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go pretty wide. No one's with him.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
Hello and welcome race fans back to PTR TV here tonight with the American Sim Racing Series ASRS Sam Maxwell Truck Series from the newly rebranded Richmond Raceway, and should be a good show tonight. Almost through here with qualifying, just a little bit more time to go here, about 2 minutes, minute and a half now, and well, I'm Brandon Krutz. Joining me tonight, as always, is Corey Silva. Corey Silva doubling as our tech producer every night, and behind the scenes is for our quality control specialist, Joe Chris. So, welcome back, everybody, and good to be back. It's been a while for me, Corey.
Yeah, it's been a while as well. I felt like it's been a while for me as well. We've had some issues here with last night we didn't have it go live, some league issues, but we're ready and raring for some short track racing under the lights here at Richmond Raceway. So as you said, Brandon, qualifying is nearly complete and about a minute left, and hey, that's a pretty familiar name, P1 right now.
Yeah, that number 99 part-time driver here at ASRS, part-time commentator for PTR TV as well, Evan Black, up there on the pole time as of right now with a 21.237. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to quite beat that one.
Does not appear to be the case, Brandon, and something I do want to point out as well is a big name in this series. I don't see him here, and that is our points leader, so we're going to have a really serious shakeup in the standings after tonight's race.
Yeah, Jared Mogard not here tonight, not racing tonight. And speaking of points, Jared Mogard is the points leader right now, set with 124 points. Tom Gianni behind him, just 2 points back. Randy McKinney, 11 points back from the lead. And then it's going to be Brian Yazik, Devin Serra, Mitchell Brown, John Kenny, Jason Stewart, Sam Maxwell, and Tim Knott rounding out top 10 in points.
Yeah, so as the season progresses, obviously the standings are starting to spread out, but there is a pretty good battle for the points lead. Obviously, that will kind of be a little deterred by tonight and having the Mogard not be here, but we will see how that shakes out as we bring to you the PTR TV starting lineup here from the Richmond Raceway for the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. On the pole with his lap time of 21.237, Evan Black. Congrats to him on his amazing lap. Brian Yazik on the outside of the front row. In P3, Tom Gianni. In the 4th spot, Pete Baskins. And then in 5th, Mitch Brown. 6th, Nick Curling. And then rounding out your top 10, Troy Haight, Sam Maxwell himself, David Howard Jr., and Blake Neer.
Starting in the 10th position, or starting in the 11th position, is going to be Jordan Harnish. Starting 12th is going to be Justin Rector. Jim Fu starting 13th. 14th is Jared Haggerty. Devin Serra starting 15th. 16th is Clarence Bonner. 17th is Evan Osborne. 18th is Zach Calloway. Then rounding out the top 20 is going to be Steve Ritter and Brad Krutz.
Coming off in the 21st position, Andy Veltman, Jordan Miller 22nd, Brandon Boyd 23rd, Jack Wells in 24th, Tim Knott 25th, Kevin Mingus in 26th. Then rounding out your top 30 is Jason Stewart, Steve Buvala, Jay Graves Jr., and Josh Siddon.
Rounding out the field tonight in 31st through 35th is going to be John Kinney in 31st, 32nd Ryan Hars, 33rd Andrew Garrels, Nick Kaufman starting 34th, and rounding out the field in 35th is Scott Holler.
So a large field here today, a full grid in fact here at Richmond tonight. So it'll be an interesting battle under the lights for these drivers here tonight. Racing format that we will be under in the Truck Series. Full fuel load, 13 incident limit here. If you get more than 13 via incidents via a car contact, incidents with the wall, going off track, what have you, you will be removed from the race after 13. No backup trucks, and we are running the iRacing fixed setup.
So, Evan Black in the 99 starting on pole, Brian Yazik 55 starting second. Ladies and gentlemen, that makes up your first row here tonight at the Richmond Raceway with the ASRS Sam Maxwell Truck Series. These guys roll off, they'll get stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go green flag racing.
Most certainly is the case as we come here under pacing conditions right now. 2 laps around the Richmond Raceway. 4 pacing these drivers will have to do. A little talk of the weather. They do run dynamic weather, so the weather does change slightly over the course of the session, and that weather will be 70 degrees in the air, 70 degrees on the track, and about a 9-mile-an-hour wind nearly from the southwest, so nothing out of the ordinary. That wind is a little higher than we're used to on this service, but we'll see if that has any effect on these drivers as we come through turn number 4 here, 1 lap away from getting this race underway.
Weather tonight here at the Richmond Raceway, Corey, looking like...
I just said that.
Oh, well, shows how much I pay attention. I was looking at YouTube chat.
Yeah. I literally just said that, but we will carry on that millennial topic for another day. That seems to be
a common theme here for me. It's pay attention to other broadcast stuff and not paying attention to what's going on under the yellow flag.
We digress from that as we come down the back straightaway here at Richmond Knott International Raceway. And Evan Black in the 99, the control truck to the inside. He will have to start on the inside every start. There is no lane choice in the series. So here we come, getting ready to get this race underway.
Pace car ready to make its way down into pit lane. Once again, there it goes. Drops off field in the hands of Evan Black. He's on the throttle. Green flag is in the air.
And a heck of a jump the 99 did get indeed. Gets about 2-3 truck lengths over Yazik as we come through turns 1 and 2 at the moment. Battle seems to be about 6th place on back.
Tom Gianni was looking for that second position, not going to be there that time. By the field's kind of singled out. Now the next battle going to be between the 98 and the 28 back here for about 7th.
Yeah, that battle for 7th with Maxwell right now. As you can see, he is to the outside right now of number 28 of Troy Haight, I believe that is.
Down into turn number 3, still going to hold side by side. Sam Maxwell up on a high side, not going to be able to get it done. Now the 167 machine, that's going to be Blake Neer trying to look underneath him.
Yeah, Blake Neer in the 167, a new driver to the series. He is a driver on probation, if you will, which is why he has a 3-digit number as he runs his initial status in the league. Gets to the inside, nearly clears the 98, but not enough. Sam Maxwell will have a little bit of run on the outside.
We do apologize if we don't have Blake's number plaque up in the system, folks. Weren't aware that we'd have any triple-digit numbers racing here tonight.
Yeah, each of those numbers has to get coded in individually. We don't have all of them, though we have most, so that will show the black box there on the screen, so omit that. But does look like Troy Haight is to the outside. Sam Maxwell taking a look to the inside right now, not missing anything up front. Evan Black's out by about 4/10.
Someone who's making his way up through the field is Jordan Harness. Started, well, now up to the top 10 and trying to make his way up to the back bumper. Sam, caution on the speedway. Big
wreck there off of turn number 4. A lot of drivers are stuck right now. Steve Ritter.
Oh, man. The 6 machine went for a wild ride up there, upside down, over and over. That's Jared Haggerty.
Yeah, let's try to find the origination of that incident. I did see some Steve Ritter around his position. We saw some stuff happening, but we'll find out where it was. Oh, it was, as you said, Jared Haggerty in the 6. We'll jump the cameras up just a little bit high, a little bit further up, see what happened.
Not sure. It looks like Haggerty got really loose on corner entry and just overcorrected.
Yeah, he just, I think maybe a little too much rear brake bias perhaps in that car, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, he went for a wild ride up and over, upside down. Was that 6 machine collected the 16 there? A couple of cars making contact with one another trying to check up. Here comes the field to the pits.
Yep, Evan Black will lead the field to the pits on lap number 7, so we will see if this does bring everyone to the pit lane or if it just perhaps does a couple of drivers, but here we come.
Everybody is down pit road.
We will see if these 4 tires are changed by everyone up. Do not see anybody that did remain on the circuit, so we'll see if any 2 tires perhaps are played by anybody. Doesn't actually, it does appear to be the case.
What happened to Evan Black in pit road?
A 16-second stop is what happened for Evan Black right there, but
wow,
it did look like there were 2 tires changed on that number 28 of Troy Haight. That puts him up to the 2nd position, but as you can see with Evan Black down to 3rd, Brian Yazik, the beneficiary. Remember, he won the Cup race last week for ASRS, and he will lead this field down on this upcoming restart.
Evan Black's only words over the team radio was, "Good job, pit crew." So, can only assume that's what his only issue was.
Yeah, maybe they had one of those air guns that, you know, everyone's trying to get.
Yeah, apparently. So, we'll blame it on, an air gun malfunction.
Maybe. It did look like he got into his stall cleanly, so I couldn't imagine it being that. So, like I said, it does happen in sim racing. It happens in the real world, happens in the sim racing world. But he will have the benefit of being on the inside groove, which we know how important that usually is. So we'll see if that does work to his benefit. Still have at least...
Troy Haight. Sorry, Corey. Troy Haight getting a black flag for merging too soon.
Yep, there is a, I believe they have to merge on the back straightaway if I am not mistaken, so that applies to both caution flags and under green flag conditions, obviously. So due to not yielding that, the number 28 will find himself in that position that is not where he wanted to be. Obviously, he took those 2 tires for a reason, and I don't think he's going to have time to get the 2 of the left side ones, so he's going to be in the back on 2 old tires.
Oh. Yeah, not what he wanted at all. So.
Is he going to dispute that position? He seems to not be...
It looks like he might be trying to dispute that.
Yeah, I'll let you take over that one, Brandon. Obviously, you have the ability to check that out more than I do.
I'm kind of confused on the call, but...
Oh, he is dropping to the back, so
yep.
he is yielding his penalty appropriately.
Start being delayed by 1 lap. Race officials trying to get this all sorted out. And, well, I don't know. The first few drivers are all single file right now.
Yes, they are. Again, we'll find.
Apparently, I just heard, Corey, the iRacing system is not telling any of those front drivers to double up.
Yeah, and it's kind of deja vu from what we had to deal with last week with our Hardline Racing League broadcast. So we'll hope that this, well, it does look like things have fizzled out appropriately. So I guess we'll try this one more time.
I guess Tom Gianni's going to get that second position. That's weird. I thought Evan Black would have gotten it, but I think it was because they were already doubled up. But nevertheless, pace car will be making its way into pit lane this next time by. These drivers ready to get back under green flag conditions. Brian Yazik is the control car. He is off. Green flag is back in the air.
Not as good of a jump for Yazik, but he does get at least a 2-truck length lead over second place, which is a battle. Gianni to the outside, Black to the inside. We have a car.
Oh, wrecking behind.
They wrecked, but did they wreck yet? They're 5 wide. Here they go.
Oh, now they're wrecking down the backstretch. Truck sideways in the middle of the field. Caution, flag is in the air. That was madness.
That was way more wide.
Those drivers made it through, Corey.
I do not either. I do know it started about with the 2. Actually, they were about 5 wide trying to get around there. The 14 and the 2 ultimately were the cause of it off turn number 2.
Well, the 18 got sideways on the entrance of 1. Same thing that happened to the 6, maybe a little bit too much rear brake. And then everybody somehow managed to get around them from there, but those guys were 5 wide on the backstretch at Richmond. Something I'd never say, Corey, or I thought I'd never say. 5 wide on the backstretch at Richmond, and it didn't quite work out for them.
Yeah, I don't think it did work out quite well. So we do see that this race is getting off to a little bit of a shaky start, but it is kind of the case with a full field of drivers on a very small track. So I think these guys will manage to get themselves settled up before too long here. Do want to give a shout out to our camera specialist tonight. TrackCam's 4 Gourmets, the cameras we are using, are provided by Estevan and his work. You can check it out, trackcams22.com, or even his Facebook, facebook.com/trackcams.
Always helping us out with those great views for sure. So the field back under caution once again. Handful of cars came into pit lane. It looked like a couple of lap cars. That's about it.
Yeah, we were talking to Evan, and we kind of heard a little bit of pre-race chat, Brandon, about what these guys are going to have to deal with tonight here at Richmond. It did seem like what they were saying that it is going to be really hard to pass. That outside has a lot of momentum. And they're saying it's going to be pretty hard for that inside to be able to make passes because they're going to be so bogged down there.
Yeah, for sure. You know, these guys are going to have to really work on keeping their momentum up on the outside of the racetrack. Second groove, Corey. And, yeah, and, you know, even a little bit of a bobble on the bottom, you could lose 3-4 positions.
And we'll see if the iRacing dynamic track is able to come into play too. We've seen it many a time here on the service, whereas the heat and the rubber builds up on the inside of the track where they are predominantly running. These drivers will be, move their way up the track, trying to find that grip, that cooler pavement, and turn this multi-groove track even further multi-groove. But we have to get some heat in the track and some green flag laps, but hopefully that does happen and we can see how that plays out.
We would like to, while we have a moment, thank everybody for tuning in here tonight and liking and subscribing. Everything always helps us out here tonight. So, you know, thank you, everybody. We're up to about 447 subscribers right now. So
the drive for 500 is real. So we are pushing for that. Once we get to 500, YouTube kind of helps a little bit more to get further than that. So The analytics do say that over half the people that watch our broadcast are not subscribed, so turn that trend around, guys. Please follow us. Helps us out, helps the leagues out, makes everybody's a little bit happier here. So, but regardless of that, we're going to get it going here for the third time tonight. Here we are for a restart.
Fields once again in the hands of the 55 of Jacek. Gianni to his outside. Gianni trying to go a little bit earlier. Jacek said, no way, Jose. Green flag is back in the air.
Yeah, there is no rule on green here. The leader can go as soon as he wants to. Jacek took that to his full benefit here. Gets out to that 2-truck length lead. Evan Black falls in line for second, and they are battling pretty hard for about 7th on back.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of side-by-side racing, it looks like, up here for around the 6th position, 5th and 6th position corner. That settles out now between the 167 and the 54, but those guys side-by-side behind him. The 18 trying to make his way through the field.
The 18 actually kind of scraped the wall there, I do believe. I'm sorry, the 09 that was. Justin Rector scraped the wall in the back straightaway. That lost him some momentum to Clarence Bonner and Mitch Brown. So he is to the outside, will fall back in line in the 9th position. And then later in the field, we do still have some side-by-side. As you can see, they have spread out up front just a little bit, but we do have, who is that, Jim Foose in the 16th position to the outside of Brad Cross and Jason Stewart, who's moved his way up through the field.
Kind of a gaggle of cars back here. Small one, but a gaggle at that. Jim Foose kind of stuck
here we go. 144.
144.
Evan Osborne.
Oh, sideways in the middle of the track. Caution flag is in the air. Single car spin.
Yeah, we kind of caught that one a little live here as the 144 was losing control of his vehicle. We'll go on the replay here on board with him and kind of show you what he saw firsthand. And Brandon, I almost called you Evan 3 times there. It's the 3rd time I've seen this tonight. These guys are really getting loose on the braking entering turn 1.
Yeah, and he was kind of full Tokyo drift mode all the way through the corner there, Corey. Just a little bit too much rear brake, I think. And it's okay to help the car rotate, but, you know, you use a little bit too much brake on corner entrance, the back end's going to swing out on you.
Yeah, these guys do have the ability to change that in the trucks. They do have the ability to go 3% on the brake bias either way. That means that the brake pressure that is built into the setup, you can kind of tweak it to the front of the truck. You could tweak it to the back of the truck, however that does suit you. So I think some of these drivers may need to put a little more front bias in it. That'll give them some more stability on braking. That is your Corey Silva tech tip of the race. You want more? You're out of luck because I really don't know much more than that. I think that is a waiver round right there. So we'll step away here as I think we're on our 4th caution of the race. We'll step away briefly here. We'll be right back with you for the restart, guys, so stay with us.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinzer. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun. Where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there. Where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, I mean, as a rookie on there, in the legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time,
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back to the ASRS Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Series here, live on PTR TV. Field back in the hands of Brian Jacek. They're stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing. 44 Tom Gianni still on the outside of Jacek for the restart. Evan Black back there in third. Jacek is on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air. Another pretty good jump for the 55 of Jacek. Gianni and Black gonna battle it out here for the second position. 2x2 pace lap formation back behind them as well. Now heading onto the back straightaway. Still side by side. Gianni gets that position off Black down into turn 3.
Evan Black, he was on the pole, lost it on that pit stop, has not been able to move from that third position, but he's got to watch his mirror right now. 54 of Harnish, 91 of Curling there, duking it out there for the fourth position. And then we have the 167 of Blake Neer and Mitch Brown battling behind them as well.
A lot of trucks kind of getting squirrely here. Down the back, straightaway off corner exit. A lot of close racing here, Corey.
Here comes Black for the second spot. He's underneath Gianni here, entered corner number 1. We'll see if he can make it stick on the inside groove. He hugs the yellow line. He should be able to clear off of corner exit. Does slide in front.
And that he does. Slides up in front. Tom Gianni trying to look to the outside once again. Not going to work out for him. He's got company from the 91.
Yeah, 91 of Nick Curling. He's got to watch out. He is having a fast truck here tonight, but they're still side by side. Blake Neer and Jordan Harnish. That is for the 5th position.
Side by side, heading down into turn 3 now. Now the 54 clips the yellow line there just a little bit, slides up the racetrack just a touch. Still going to hold 2x2 down the front straightaway. Now 54 with the advantage down into turn number 1.
Now this is something they need to watch out for as well. The longer you run side by side, the more tires you are going to burn. So these drivers need to watch out for that as Curling takes the dive under Gianni in turn number 3. Move the 91 up to P3.
Gianni got sideways there off the exit of 2 last time by. Now heading down into turn 1. Gianni will end up back there in the 4th position.
And they still have yet to battle this position and settle it out. 167 and 54 off of quarter number 2. Tight battling going on. They got to watch out. Mitch Brown, where is he going to go? Is he going to go to the top, follow the 167, or drop to the inside?
Mitch Brown back there in that 18 machine, kind of lurking behind those guys, trying to figure out a way around. Hasn't been able to do so yet. Those guys have held 2x2 about this whole time.
Yes, they have, and I mean, it's kind of a frustrating boat for the 18 to be in. He doesn't know where he wants to be. He just knows that he needs that position to settle out so he can make some passes himself.
Blake Neer in that 167, Jordan Harnish 54. Looks like that 167 machine will be able to clear this time by, but it leaves the door open for Harnish and 54. Now side by side once again.
Harnish may have the chance. He's going to take a big dive on there into turn number 3, see if he can make it clear one shot, but he's not going to be able to. The 167 is still up there. That's going to give Brown the second life up top, entering corner number 1.
Heading down through turns number 1 and 2, 54 trying to fend off the 18 machine, down to 59 right behind them. Heading down the back straightaway, down into turn number 3, Jordan Harnish trying to fend off Mitch Brown there up on the high side. Mitch Brown would run off, but Jordan Harnish manages to counter.
Yeah, they're still going at it. They're not backing down, especially this early in the race. I thought one of them wanted to get in line, but they want this position badly, not taking any.
Boy.
Into the wall is Mitch Brown.
Almost a little bit of contact through turn number 1 and 2 that last time by. Now Mitch Brown ends up to the outside wall. He falls back a couple positions, trying to get back up there, but here comes the 59 machine of Ryan Hart.
Yeah, where did he come from? Ryan Hart started all the way in the back of the field, but wastes no time. He's already up to the 7th position, started in the 32nd spot. We see him in a couple leagues here on PTR TV. Always a quick driver. He is moving his way up through the field.
Yeah, Ryan Hart's trying to get up there now, right behind the 54 machine. He manages to clear the 18 of Mitch Brown. Now has his eyes set on Jordan Harnish. A little bit of side-by-side action going on in front of them. Tom Gianni looking like he's going to lose yet another position.
And I think someone else who might lose a position is the 99 of Evan Black. Nick Curling is all over the back bumper of that number 99 machine as they come off of corner number 4. He had a look underneath turn number 2, but lost the momentum. But that is a battle also worth watching.
Still side-by-side behind them. Tom Gianni trying to defend that position up on the high side. Evan Black looks like he's kind of in the clear there, at least for the moment, but Tom Gianni trying his best to defend. Now, Ryan Hart's right on the back bumper to 167.
Nearly some contact between the 18 and the 54 if there was not a little bit, but here comes the 167.
Oh,
huge
boy.
Wiggle. Huge wiggle from Blake Neer there. Did a great job to save that truck. Here comes Hart trying to dive to the outside, get the right rear quarter panel there.
Contact.
He does do it. Right rear quarter panel, there he is. Outside, Ryan Hart gets to the outside. He has a good run. Watch out, side by side, still behind them as well.
These race trucks, close quarters, racing here tonight. Now the 167.
Whoa!
Oh, sideways is the 167. Down into the grass. Contact on the inside wall. He keeps it straight.
Oh, he gets out before we have a yellow. He completely gets out of that situation. So that is not what he needs, Blake Neer. But regardless of that, here we go to the front. We haven't forgot about him, but he's out here by himself. Ryan Yazik absolutely turning off some fantastic times, up by about 1 3/4 seconds as we'll pull up the lap tracker here and see who is the fastest up there. But actually, Evan Black had him by about a 10th last time by.
Yeah, absolutely. Evan Black trying to make his way up towards the front here, and that 99 machine, he's fast. He's just got to be able to get up there.
Yeah, we'll bring up the battle tracker here. And it does show that the gap is about 2 seconds this time
Front
by.
straightaway car around Corey. Number 30.
Brad Cross.
Caution flag on the speedway.
See what happened to the number 30 machine. Looks like he just got loose. Just got loose and just methodical, slow spin to the inside through the grass. No harm, no foul, but indeed a yellow flag.
So if I'm not mistaken, that will be our 5th caution of the night. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, the graphic says 4, but I know it's wrong because it was 5 because I had to do something behind the scenes. So yes, that is the 5th caution of the race. So lap number 45. These drivers are coming to pit late. Evan Black nearly into the tire wall, it looked like there, but he gets through just fine, and we'll see if who indeed has the best of the pit stops. We ran about 25 laps on that run, so I'm not expecting any 2-tire stops from anybody. I think you will need those 4 fresh tires, especially with the handling conditions some of these drivers are having, as I believe that's John Kennedy who just went straight through his pit stall there.
Yeah, I believe he did miss his stall. Race off pit road. Evan Black getting that 2nd position, the 28 machine. I believe maybe another 2-tire stop from him.
28 of Troy Haight.
Must have been.
He clocked a 9.5-second stop. You're not getting 4 tires change in that time frame, so that would be 2 tires for the 28. Given how loose these cars, well, these trucks have been rather, I'm a little sketched out on that call, Brandon. I think if they were tight, I could warrant that, but I'm a little nervous on that 2 tires.
Yeah, 2 tires, that 28 machine. I don't know how well it's going to work out for them. We'll have to see, Corey. I mean, we've been surprised before. See what that 28 machine can do on 2 tires.
Yeah, I can't remember which race it was. I want to say there was a race last week where we were doubting someone on taking 2 tires, and he did just fine. If anything, he was pulling away on him. So, I mean, it is doable, but it is a risky call much of the time. So, hopefully he has his research in on that decision, but we will see if we get one to go. It does not... Actually, nope, we did not get one to go from the camera angle I was at. I couldn't really tell. So, still a couple more laps of pacing here.
So Brian Yazik out front of this thing.
Something we do want to bring up as well. We didn't get to do our episode of the Racer's Mind this week. There was some scheduling conflicts with 2 of the 3 parties in the in that show, and I don't think you guys wanted to listen to me ramble by myself for 45 minutes, so we didn't do that, but that will be tomorrow. So for those watching live, Racer's Mind will be 7:45 tomorrow, Wednesday, the April 18th, and if you're watching this in the future, then well, just go back and find it. You can watch episode 4.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to that for sure. But Corey, Evan Black is starting in a new position than what he has all night so far. He's starting on the outside for this restart. He
is. We'll see if it's usually harder to get the run up there because you can't really get the jump on the leader as well. But let's see what he can do position-wise. And we know that he was starting to close on Yazik just a little bit. I think he is maybe a better long-run truck, but I don't know if a long-run truck is going to prevail tonight. But we will indeed see as we are getting ready to get this race underway yet again.
The iRacing official pace car leading this field down through turn 3 off of turn 4 will make its way down into pit lane. Off it goes. Brian Yazik got the throttle. They're stacking them up, but green flag is back in the air.
As we go back through the field, you can see their double file all the way back through the field right now. Everyone's doing a pretty good job getting settled out right now. They're still side by side. Sam Maxwell is in a battle here off of turn number 2. That yellow truck is the number 13 of Clarence Bonner, all the way to the top of the track.
Troy Haight struggling to keep control of that race truck right now. Corey got really loose on the entrance of 2 the last time by, or the entrance of 3 that last time by. Now drifted up the track a little bit there on the entrance of 1.
On board here with him. We'll see how much fighting he is having to do behind the wheel here. Does look like he's holding a pretty smooth wheel right now. Maybe he's kind of figuring it out a little bit what that truck has available to him.
The 54 Jordan Harn is right on his back bumper trying to look underneath. He cuts down, manages to if I can English, that would be great. Manages to defend that position. Evan Black up ahead may have company from the 59 of Ryan Hart.
Ryan Hart starting in the 32nd position, up to 3rd here, but even before halfway, so a masterful bit of driving for the number 59 machine. Right to the back bumper of the 99. Let's see how hard Evan Black fights for it.
Evan Black gonna try to hold on for that 2nd position. Ryan Hart right to his back bumper, dunking to the inside, side by side, down into turn number 1.
Here they come. Evan Black running the 2nd groove, pinches the 59 down, but actually he lets him go. So he will relinquish to the 3rd position and see if the 59 can track down the 55.
Spin on the backstretch, Corey. Caution flag is in the air.
It looks like Mitch Brown and the 20 of Devin Serra.
They're still piling in back there.
And we'll go dig back
what
here.
What a mess.
Go dig back here on the good old-fashioned replay here and see what the cause was if we can.
The 20 of Devin Serra.
The 20 and the 44 made contact there, and it looks like the 18 was just kind of an innocent bystander through all that.
Couple heavy impacts.
We're on board
those guys.
Here. We're on board here. Sorry, Brendan. And it looks like the 44 nearly got in the wall. That kind of got him into Serra a little bit when he came off the wall. And then the 18 and a couple other drivers. I think the 14 maybe. Oh, you can see 4 or 5 drivers there. The 97, the 09. All just innocent bystanders behind that.
There's a lot of carnage there on the backstretch. So back under yellow once again.
And it does look like, Brandon, that from 7th on back, starting with Sam Maxwell, that there were pit stops. Actually, a couple of the drivers. So about 9th on back will all have made pit stops. About a 10-lap run we just did.
Absolutely.
So we'll see if that has any effects. And quick shout out under caution here. We are looking to better the channel in terms of hardware quality, audio quality, overlays, all that stuff. Need a little help from the fans. So if you don't mind, consider contributing to our Patreon, patreon.com/PTRTV. Even $1 helps. All of it goes to the channel to help bring our quality to the next level, but keeping the prices in line with affordability for the league owners here. So patreon.com/PTRTV.
Every donation helps, folks, and it's greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to sponsor the channel, we also have openings for that. You can see more information on that at our website at primetimeracing.tv.
Which our partner Michael DeGroat, our social media partner, who is going to soon be a backup producer here on the channel, has done a masterful job with that website with some help from our good old partner Brandon Krutz. So that website is looking phenomenal. Still a little bit of work to be done to it, but again, have a look at that. You'll have all the information you do need on the channel, and some other stuff on there as well.
Yeah, I must say, Michael DeGroat did most of the work on that website, hired under the name of Krutz Custom Graphics. And, well, if you're looking for a website through Krutz Custom Graphics, be sure to come to us and take a look at our website, see how that work turned out, and let's see if we can hook you up.
Yeah, and while we're doing shout-outs, I mean, it wouldn't be a broadcast if I didn't bring out Silent Joe and thank him for all that he does, which I think Brandon can allude more to that than I can because I don't get to witness it, but gotta give Silent Joe his time in the sun.
Absolutely, Joe Chris does a lot for us, and pretty much every wreck I've called out tonight was him seeing it first. So awesome job to him here tonight. Also viewing our broadcast on separate monitors and make sure quality is all good. Hence the name, Quality Control.
And if you chat and chat loud enough, maybe he'll come on air and do a segment. We're working on that. I know he's punching me on silent radio right now, but
he said no, he's not.
he wants to, though. That's the thing. But we are on the back straightaway. Lights are out on the Ford Mustang pace car, and we're going to get this race underway yet again. Yazik to the inside, but Ryan Hart's the new second-place driver.
Ryan Hartz will be starting on the outside pole here, or restarting on the outside pole. Pace car makes its way down into pit lane. On the throttle is Brian Yazik. Once again, the outside line tried to go a little bit early. Brian Yazik said, no, not today. He gets the jump.
All right, and we're going to let you feel the thunder on this restart. Crank up the engine sounds and enjoy the racing here at Richmond. We will interject.
Caution. The number 16.
Yeah, I don't think we really got to the...
Ritter.
We really didn't get to the thunder there. I think that was only the opening shower, but here comes... we'll see what happened, I guess, to the 16 machine, as you said.
Contact between the 16 and the 4. The 4 with a huge save, but oh boy, the 88 and the 144 also piled into that.
The 4
and the
machine.
41.
Yeah, the 4 machine. Who is that? That was Kevin Mingus. He drove it in deep into turn number 1. And
the 41, I don't know how he got through that with less damage that he did. Awesome job by him. Locked him up, actually hit the outside wall to get through that.
Yeah, I'm still a little confuzzled, though, as to why the 4 drove it so deep into that turn. I'm sure he probably just locked the brakes up. We know how finicky the brakes are here at Richmond, as we've seen about 3 or 4 drivers have trouble entering turn number 1. So, obviously, the 16 was at the tail end of the 6th there, along with a couple other drivers, but, again, behind the pace car.
So, cautions bring cautions, Corey, but we've had a lot of those tonight so far. Looks like, I believe the field stayed out under this caution period. Nobody came to pit road.
So I'll give you a little bit of a field rundown of at least the top 15 at the moment, because those are the drivers that are in the pits right now. So currently your leader, leading 55 laps tonight, is Brian Yazik. Ryan Hart's running in second, Evan Black running in third, Jordan Harnish in fourth, Tom Gianni in fifth, Jim Foose up to the 6th position, Steve Buhala up to 7th, Brandon Boyd in 8th, Nick Curling is in 9th, and then the top 10 at the moment is Brad Cross, John Kennedy in 11th, Clarence Bonner in 12th, Jason Stewart running in 13th, Troy Haight in 14th, Kevin Mingus in 15th, and we have Jay Graves Jr. in 16th, Scott Holler in 17th, and everybody else is in pit lane, so those positions are still kind of settling themselves out. So still waiting for that to the caution to clear here. Again, we are about 20 laps into this run for most of the drivers up front. Sorry guys, I am trying to work on our ticker. It has been a little finicky lately, but I think I have it okay. So Brian Yazik, Brandon, I don't know, you think anybody has anything for him?
I feel like if someone can get up there, I think the man who's going to really give him a challenge, if anybody here tonight, is going to be the 59 of Hearts. He seems to be one of the fastest of the field besides Yazik, so if he can get up there and at least clear for the lead, I think he'll be able to defend good enough. That's the logic anyways.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that long run, and I don't know if we're going to get it as the one to go has come out. If these guys can get 30, 40 laps in, I really think it's going to bring out a new set of drivers who are good on the longer runs. But we will see if we indeed get to that point. But we are down the back straightaway. We'll get them doubled up and ready to go yet again.
So, pace car leading these guys once again into turn 3. Brian Yazik will again lead the field, so the green pace car is off. Yazik is away. Green flag back in the air.
I'll tell you, that was I thought it was going to be a good jump by Hartz there, but he didn't get it really once they got up to speed fully. But he will clear Evan Black on the inside. And Evan Black's going to have Jordan Harnish to the outside. He might lose a spot on this restart.
Side by side, heading down into turn number 3 now. Now the 99 on the bottom, 54 up on the top. Heading down off of turn number 4 now. 99 of Evan Black manages to hold that position so far. Now heading down into turn number 1.
Yeah, that outside groove is, it's obviously faster, but it is not completely open. The into the wall was Harnish there off of corner number 2. That will give Evan Black a little bit of space to work with on the inside. I don't know if will he be able to clear off a 4? Not quite.
Harnish trying to push that 99 down the racetrack just a little bit, trying to race him as close as he can. Now, here comes the 44, Tom Gianni, and Jim Foose on a 42 coming up in the mix. Where did he come from?
Yeah, I don't know where he came from, but he's doing a great job. You know, he's a good driver on the short tracks. He's doing is exactly that now, trying to get to Tom Gianni to his inside to crack into the top 5.
Still the battle between the 99 and the 54. Evan Black on the low side. Harnish up on the high side now. Now still holding 2x2 down the back straightaway.
And all of this is allowing Hartz and Yazik to get out to a huge lead right now. And I'll tell you, we might have a battle for the lead, Brandon.
Yeah, Ryan Hart starting to make his way up there. Right to the back bumper to the 55 machine now.
We'll see, this is the most pressure as they're still battling for third, but this is the most pressure that Yazik has had all night. So we'll see how he is able to deal with it.
Ryan Hart's trying to keep the pressure on him, trying to stay as close as he can to that rear bumper. Maybe force him to make a mistake, Corey, but heading down into turn number 1, Ryan Hart is right on him.
Yeah, this is what is going to make a driver show what he's really made of, as they're really going at it off of corner number 2. Evan Black's now on the high side, Gianni to the inside. They've changed positions since last we checked it. But here they come here off of the corner, and you can see the field stacking up behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. The field racing hard back there from about third on back. Evan Black manages to get away with that third position. Tom Gianni back there now. Caution flag on the speedway. Turn 2, number 60 machine.
Brandon Boyd.
Same thing we've seen all night, Corey. A little bit too much break into the corner and heavy head-on hit to the outside safer barrier. The 3 machine, oh my, just gets by.
He almost had that save to the very last second. And then it's eventually a bit to the right. And again, will put us behind the pace car.
Here come the leaders to pit lane.
Indeed, they are on pit lane right now. We'll see 4 tires in fuel, I'm assuming, from everybody on pit lane, but we've seen a couple 2-tire calls today. Wouldn't surprise me if that does happen again. Bring up the pit road graphic here, see if anybody does pull any strategy here. It does look like everyone's stop is approaching over 10 seconds, which would insinuate a 4-tire change as they get the race off pit road. The 99.
Wow.
14.1. They made up for his first stop. That's going to put Evan Black out in the first position. But we're going to step away just for a brief moment side by side. We'll be right back with you for the restart. So again, stay with us here as we're a little bit past halfway.
iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. I mean, you've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. I mean, everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting slick. Areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. The tear-off feature is really cool. Watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Back for the restart here. New leader, Evan Black. Pace car's in. He's on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air. Good jump for him. Brian Yazikal, second position. heading down into turn number 1 now 44 Tom Gianni looking for that position. Now the 59 Ryan Hart's got pushed all the way back to the 4th position, but here comes Brian Yazik right up to the back bumper to 99 of Evan Black. Evan Black trying to hold that position off of him. Now down the front straightaway, down across the start finish line, heading on lap 80 right now, folks, but Brian Yazik, that 55 machine, he's sitting on a rocket ship here tonight. Evan Black gonna have to do the best he can to hold off that lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the 99 does have the speed in that truck to stay up front, but he's obviously not going to go down without a fight. Yazik already wastes no time. Caution.
Turn 4.
Jason Stewart in the 11.
I believe this is our 8th caution of the night.
Oh,
and
the 30 of Brad Cross was sideways, wow, and that just collected. We'll see what happened to Cross first of all. Looks like he had, I believe that's the 90. What was that? 91, some contact there, some netco to look like they got the 30 sideways, and then Stewart had nowhere to go. The 2 did a good job avoiding that. It looks like 2.
Oh boy, the 11, I don't know if there was any contact there, Corey. I think it was just a maneuver to avoid hitting Cross, and a great job he did. Maybe a little bit of contact, a little bit of front end damage, but man, oh man, that could have been so much worse. Good job by the 11 machine.
Yeah, he did. He was just making that erratic maneuver to, as you said, try to get around him, and that ultimately just got him sideways, but again, managed to loop it without really any harm done, so I guess no harm, no foul, as I like to say.
Sam Maxwell. It's, looks like maybe done for the night. Unwillingly dropped connection here from the server. And just
as a reference, we started with 35 drivers. Actually, I believe 33 took the grid. And we are out Sam Maxwell, Josh Sidden, Steve Ritter, Mitch Brown, Devin Sarah, Blake Neer, David Howard Jr., Jordan Miller, Nick Coffin, and Jared Haggerty all officially retired from the race. And I don't think Jack Wells will make it out either. Andrew Garrels and Justin Rector all in the pits with major repairs. So it looks like about 22 trucks actively in the race right now.
So this is our 8th caution flag of the night, Corey. 84 laps in. Starting to get near the end of this race. What do you expect to see here?
I mean, if I'm being bluntly honest, I think we're going to see what we've been seeing. The drivers are obviously going to pick up the intensity here, and the aggression will go to the next level. So I would not be surprised if the pace car has some more airtime tonight, but we will hope for the better. I am very interested to see how long Yazik will remain behind Black in the 99, and to see if Ryan Hartz, we know how quick he was, and he was all over Yazik's back bumper, to see if he can take a stab at him if they can get some clean track.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe, just maybe, Evan Black will be able to hold off for the win, but Brian Yazik does seem like he has a little bit more horses under the hood here tonight, folks.
Has something figured out. Obviously not literal horses under the hood. We all have identical setups in these machines here tonight, but we do know that these drivers are... Some drivers just take better to different setups, Brandon. You know how that works, so sometimes you just... A setup works better for you than it works for somebody else, and I mean, it does look like Brian Yazik, kind of similar to how he's been lately. He's figured something out, and he's going to have one more stab, well, a couple more stabs at it here as the laps tick away.
Absolutely. So these guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing control car once again will be the 99 Evan Black. Ryan Yaza great to his outside. See if Evan Black can get the jump that he needs once again off this restart. Pace car ready to make its way down into the Richmond Raceway pit road. Evan Black's on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
And a very good jump by Evan Black, out by about 3 or 4 truck lengths here. And it looks like Yazik may also clear for the second position. But actually he will not clear him and Ryan Hartz. Ryan Hartz has the run to the inside right now. And this is allowing Evan Black to pull away even further.
Yeah, absolutely. Evan Black now out front. And Ryan Hartz is, well, still trying to fight with that 55 machine. See if Hartz can maybe make his way up there.
So this is the first time, Brandon, that Ryan Hartz has been ahead of the 55. And here we go again.
Caution on the speedway.
Jay Graves Jr. in the number 8. See what happened to Jay in the number 8 machine. Looks like, well, get a better look at that. A little too far away to make a call. Oh, he got loose on braking, and then he kind of touched the number 11 machine, and he went around. So again, about the 6th driver to have issue tonight with the braking into corner number 1, and we will go under yellow flag. And yeah, we will step away for the final time tonight in under racing conditions, so stay with us. We'll be right back with you for the restart.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
Welcome back, race fans. We are getting ready for the restart here. We are on the back straightaway here at Richmond Raceway, about to take lap number 94, the number 99 machine of Evan Black. He got the lead via pit stops a couple cautions ago and has managed to keep the lead, but Ryan Hartz in the 59 will be on the outside. Pace car is in. We'll wait for the 99 to get on the loud pedal, and he is already. We're back racing at Richmond.
Heading down into turn number 1 now. Now Ryan Hartz side by side with Brian Yazik. Brian Yazik throws it down into the corner now on corner exit, trying to take for second place.
Battle for the 5th position right now. Jordan Harnish in the 6th, trying to get that top 5 away from Jim Foose, who's to the inside. A very great run by Foose today in the 42, running in the top 5 right now. And they're 3 wide right behind this.
3 wide back there, but now everybody's singled out, but nose to tail back here in the top 3.
Yes, indeed they are. Looks like Black has about a truck length lead. That lead has already evaporated right now. Entering turn number 1, let's see the dive from Hart's a little bit harder on the brakes. There he is. We'll see if he can manage that runoff corner exit. He does. Battle for the lead, shape it up. Here he comes.
Dives it down to the inside of the racetrack. Power move down low. Can he get it to stick? 99 on the high side, 59 on the low side. Ryan Hart's going for the lead down into turn number 1.
We are within 30 laps to go here, folks, of the end of tonight's race, and this is the battle for the win. And we
Caution on the speedway.
Kevin Mingus in the 4 here out of the long shot we can see.
Evan Black kept the lead barely. Go back and take a look at that replay.
Now we'll go here from the chopper cam, try to see what happened to Mingus in the 4. Looks like we will...
Oh, same thing we've seen all night, Corey. A little bit too much brake and a little bit of help from the 13 once he got sideways.
Yeah, he was loose on the brakes, and then the 13 just kind of ran out of patience there, allowing him to save it. But I think that will be at least the 8th driver, I think, that we've seen have an issue on the brakes today in turn number 1.
Yep, so I believe this is caution number 9 of the night now. Just a handful of laps to go.
Brian Yazik coming into the pits.
One of the only drivers, maybe.
Yeah, well, it looks like Foose is in. It does look like... Actually, I might change my reaction just a little bit. It looks like about
majority of the field.
7 drivers stayed out, actually. We have
a little bit of cushion to the top couple of drivers here, Corey, but those guys going to have to keep an eye out for those on fresher tires even still.
So it's going to be, if you're Evan Black and Ryan Hartz right now, the guys that have been up front all day, you have 6 trucks about between you and fresh tires, and you have 23 laps probably once we go back green. Now the question and the concern and the part that we don't know is how many of these 25-ish laps are we going to run green, and will they catch you in those abbreviated amount of laps?
At the rate that this race is going, I think we'll see at least one more caution, if not a couple more cautions. Chances are, you know, it's going to be tight working their way through the field. So if this stays green, I don't think they'll have enough time to catch them. And another worry for those guys that just pitted is if there's a wreck and they've got nowhere to go, their night's done.
Yeah, and something that they're going to have to watch out for. I mean, there are some good drivers in there. I mean, Ryan Yazik always up front. Jim Foose is a very clean driver. These drivers, they are going to be in a rush to get there, knowing they don't have a lot of laps to do so. So maybe they will even be more aggressive, and maybe they'll be the cause of some braking issues in turn 1. We know how easy it is, especially if you're trying to make a pass. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out. We still do have the pace car's lights on, so at least one more lap of pacing we will have to do. The comers and goers today in the race thus far. The award for that still goes to the 59, who is up 30 positions since the start of the race. Steve Buhala up 25 positions. Back in the 9th position, the 89 John Kennedy up 22 positions. So a lot of drivers making their ways up through the field tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Lights out on the pace car, so we will get going with about 23 laps to go, which at Richmond under green flag conditions is about maybe less than 10 minutes of on-track action, but we will see how that plays out. If these guys can finish this race under green, or how many more race cars and upset tempers there will be.
So Evan Black, once again, the control truck here on this restart. Ryan Hartz to his outside, 43-44. That's the top four. Evan Black on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
A wiggle from Buhala on the inside in the 43. That's going to allow Tom Gianni to get to the outside. We know that outside is preferred here. Actually, Gianni won't drive it in deep enough to do so. Brian Yazik taking it 3 wide there. Brian Yazik is to the outside of Troy Haight, trying to get into 5th already.
Yazik trying to make his way back up through the field. Evan Black holding that lead out in front here, but here comes Ryan Hartz to the inside, trying to pull the power move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
He's trying to get that quarter panel down there, trying to make his presence known, and he is doing just that. He will fall back into line, actually, entering turn number 3, giving Black about a 1 truck length lead, but the battle is going on for 3rd right now.
Absolutely,
and
Evan
Brian
Black
Yazik.
lead. Yazik trying to find his way through. He's in a box between the 13, the 43, and the 44 right now. Now clears the 43. Has his eye set on Tom Gianni, the 44. I
thought he was going to go 3 wide there into turn 1. He thought better of it. He knows that he still has time, even though it is dwindling. He still has time. The leaders are right in front of him. Here he comes with a look inside the 44, getting him into the 3rd spot with 20 laps to go.
Side by side down the back straightaway, now heading down into turn number 3. Ryan Yazik clears to the 3rd position, now has his eye set on Ryan Hartz and Evan Black.
We'll give it a lap here, see if we can get a representation of what these drivers are running for laps now. 19 to go. Looks like Ryan Hartz has kind of settled into about a truck length behind Evan Black for the lead right now.
Ryan Yazik is coming, Corey, and he is coming with a head of steam. He's got to catch these guys first.
Caution
flag. Oh, boy, turn number 3.
I can at least say that he was over a 10th faster than these drivers last time by, so just in that short of a run that we got, he was making his presence known. And at this point, Brandon, I would have to guess that your bet's pretty much made with pit strategy.
Yep. 54 turned himself off the nose in the 91. 91 goes around, 54 goes around shortly after that. The 28 also involved. And those guys still stacking up. The 2 was involved, the 4 was involved, 41 near miss.
Oh yeah, 91 just dove it like a bat out of hell there into the 54. And as you said, Troy Haight kind of got stuck there on the outside groove, and a couple of the drivers stuck there, the 2, the 4, as you said. We're a little bit late on the replay, sorry about that, but we did get it shown, and as we expected, everyone will stay up front here, at least up on the racetrack. It looks like the top 9 drivers stayed on the racetrack.
So, Yazik on fresher tires. And those other guys stayed out the last caution. They're on older tires. Yazik is showing a little bit more speed. Not as much as I thought he would against those leaders, Corey, but it does look like he may, if these guys don't get into too heavy a battle, get around these two drivers and possibly go for a win.
I'm still at this point. I mean, I guess this is the time to do it, Brandon. Who are we taking right now?
I'll let you choose tonight first. Choose first here tonight, Corey.
I mean, as much as I would love to see a PTR TV truck in victory lane, I gotta put. I mean, I gotta be boring right now, and I gotta pick the 55.
Well, I'm stuck between the 99 and the 59, but I think if Black can get a good enough jump on the start, he could be able to walk away with this thing. Now, if Hartz...
Brandon, just pick.
Well, my pick is the 99.
Okay.
If Hartz and Yazik get into a battle, Evan Black could walk away with this thing. That's my logic.
Now, he is going to, obviously Black has choice of when he gets to go, so he'll probably get a good jump. And as you said, that'll probably put the 55 and the 59 into a battle. It's just, as you said, it's a matter of how long that battle lasts for. And if Black is able to get out to even 3-4 tenths, but those fresher tires, I still think they're going to be the determining factor. But of course, the wild card is how long are we going to run before we have a caution, if indeed we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Does
Silent Joe want to come off the air and come on the air and make his pick, or is it going to be a messenger by Brandon?
There's been no answer. What a coincidence.
So we do not know the pick of our partner Joe Chris. I am trying to get my hardest effort into getting him to come on the air, but not today. But with the lights are out on the pace car, here we come through turn number 2. Evan Black on the waning stages of this race. He started on the pole, didn't lead too much of it, but finds himself on the front row right now. Ryan Hartz in the second position. Brian Yazik on those fresh tires in third. Brandon, take it away.
Field rolling down through turn number 3 now in the hands right now of the iRacing official pace car. Pace car now makes his way into pit lane. Evan Black on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
And he got the jump that he needed, and here comes Brian Yazik. He's going to try to get by the 59 as quickly as possible, but the 59 is going to drive as hard as he can, try to remain side by side.
Hart and Yazik side by side. Brian Yazik clears now, heading down into turn number 3. Yazik has his eye set on the 99.
Yeah, that was a very short-lived battle. The 59 not able to hang on with those older tires, and now it's just a matter of time. How long can Evan Black hang on for the lead, for the win? Not sure how long, because here comes Yazik. He's ready.
Black not gonna block down low. Brian Yazik on those fresher tires now side by side for the lead.
Black gets a little bit of a run off corner number 4 down the front straightaway. He'll carry it off into turn number 1, sailing it on the outside groove, but hooking it right around the yellow line is Brian Yazik. He will not quite clear. Putting up the fight is the 99.
Evan Black manages to stay at his door now, heading down. Brian Yazik drove it up the racetrack just a little bit that last time by. Ryan Hart's right on his back bumper.
Every single lap, Evan Black can hold Yazik to the inside. That takes a little bit of freshness off his tires. That is very important to follow, but I think this might be the time for Yazik.
Brian Yazik still not quite able to clear. Evan Black drives it hard down into turn number 3. This slide by. Ryan Hart's now under the 99 of Black. Brian Yazik clears for the lead.
But here comes Ryan Hartz. He's not too far back. I thought for a moment he was going to have a look underneath the 55, but it looks like Black will fall back to second, maybe to third, as here comes Ryan Hartz trying to get that second spot.
As these two drivers battle between Hartz and Black, Yazik's going to be able to pull away. Brian Yazik out front of this thing. The battle is on for second.
Remember, the iRacing cutoff lap is about 5 laps to go before this race will no longer get restarted. The top 3 have fizzled out, still battling for 5th position. Buhala and Jim Foose trying to get into the top 5 tonight. That will not happen as the 19 kind of merges into the track. Where's
round goes to 30. Caution flag is in the air. Contact with the 3. The 13 also involved. Now there comes the 11 piling in.
We may or may not. I mean, there's, of course, we may or may not. Remember, there are no 1-lap dashes in this series. So we may have a green-white checker. We may not. But I think that's the 19 machine. It's kind of merged up the track there into the 30. I mean, I think it can go both ways there, but wasn't a very ideal situation just to be PC about it. But regardless, I think we're going to have a green-white checker, and naturally everyone kind of stuck and having to stay on the speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe this should definitely be a green-white checker, Corey, and boy, oh boy, should this be interesting. Brian Yazik gonna have to get a really good jump, but there's no stopping Ryan Hartz from driving it really deep down into 1, trying to get to his back bumper, I'm sure.
Yeah, Yazik, obviously, he has the control. He has the ability to start this race when he wants to. And that is going to be the most important thing, because he is going to probably get out to that jump of about at least 1 to 2 truck lengths. So Hartz, if he's going to have any chance, is going to have to get the restart of his life. And Evan Black is just going to be in position behind the 55 of Yazik, so he will be able to get a better jump than Hartz. He will be able to go within a fraction of a second of when Yazik goes. That'll give him the side-by-side battle with Hartz. But we'll see. Those fresher tires, they have to go 2 more laps. And those older tires, they have to go 2 more laps. We'll see if that heat cycle does anything for either of those drivers, Brandon. So this should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Should definitely be a good race here to the end. Ryan Yazik may even have some company. I'm still thinking Yazik could have a little bit of company from at least Ryan Hartz here. You know, the heat cycle is playing into effect. Ryan Yazik was driving really hard on the bottom of the racetrack there for a couple laps. May have something to do with the end of this race.
Yeah, Brian Yazik is trying to go for back-to-back wins. Last week, he won at Bristol in the Cup car, trying to kind of be the short track specialist right now, win in the Cup, well, in the Cup truck, trying to win in the truck at Richmond. That is, for some reason, a mouthful for me to say. So let's see if he can go back-to-back. But there, as you said, there are 2 hungry drivers behind him trying to make sure that does not happen. And, of course, if anything happens to all 3 of them, we can't count out Tom Gianni, Buhala, and Foose. You never know what could happen here on a short track. But this should be the one to go. And as we said, it should be a green-white checker.
One lap to the green flag. These guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go racing for the final time tonight. Who will get the win? The 55, 59, 99. Tom Gianni back there in the 4th position as well. Look at Jim Foose up there in the top 10 as well.
And that 42 has done a great job driving here tonight to get the position he is in. Steve Buhala in 5th. Tom Gianni in the top 5 now, but a lot can change in a green-white checker restart. This is going to be for the money here. We got to get to the white flag to finish under green. A caution could ruin this race if it happens on the first lap of the restart. But here we come, Brandon. Take it away.
Pace car down into pit lane. Yazik is on the throttle. Green flag is in the air. Black right next to Hartz.
Yazik did exactly what he needed to do, and Evan Black's going to try to sail it in for 2nd. Looks like the battle is going to be for 2nd right now. Hartz to the outside, Black to the inside, almost into the wall as the 59, but still heads on for 2nd.
Side by side, now that clears up. Tom Gianni maybe looking for that 3rd position, but Brian Yazik coming around, taking the white flag this time by.
Brian Yazik sails it off into turn number 1 and 2 with a 3 truck length lead over the 59 of Ryan Hartz. Here he comes down the back straightaway for the final time.
Brian Yazik showing domination here tonight at the Richmond Raceway. Tonight, your ASRS Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Series winner, Brian Yazik in a 55.
It was that last set of tires. That was the final call for the 55. It gave him the edge over Hartz. It gave him the edge over Black. He drove through the field 8 positions and about 20 laps he did do to grab the win here tonight. So we offer our congratulations to the driver in the number 55 machine. We're going to step away here and hopefully grab these drivers for post-race interviews. So again, stay with us. We'll be right back with you.
the chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
And we're back here on PTR TV for the post-race show after we saw a green-white checker finish, and there Brian Yazik with the win, but we have gathered the top 3 drivers for interviews, so we'll start that process off with the 3rd place finisher of Evan Black, and Brandon will talk to him.
Evan Black coming home with a 3rd place finish here tonight, man. How do you feel after that run?
I feel like all I had was a 3rd place. Just the pit stops, I was able to get ahead of Hartz and Yazik, and I really don't feel like I should have finished any better than 3rd. I just was not as good as they were.
Well, you know, you held your own out front there tonight, Evan. Tell us a little bit of how the truck was feeling, and tell us a little bit about your race.
It was way too tight for my driving style. I could not get it to turn through the center, and that made it really hard for guys to pass. If you got up on the outside of them, you could just pinch them down, and it was really hard to pass. That's why I was trying to pinch Yazik and Hartz down there at the end, just couldn't quite get it.
Yeah, so I absolutely, I mean, what was your thought going into the end of this thing? You know Brian Yazik was on fresher tires. You know, what were you thinking in those last couple restarts there?
Well, in the second to last one, when I was still in the lead, I was just hoping that Hartz and Yazik would get raced and I'd be able to pull away and we'd go green to the end, but Yazik got by Hartz pretty quickly there, and he just got by me, and I tried to hold him off as long as I could and just couldn't do it.
Well, you come home with a 3rd place finish here tonight, Evan. Is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank my sponsors, Primetime Racing TV, Primetime Racing, Rapid Fire Graphics, you guys for doing the broadcast. I like watching these, you know, and it's fun racing with Brian, and Ryan, congrats to Yazik on the win.
All right, Evan, thanks for talking with us. And I believe Corey has caught up with 2nd place finisher Ryan Hartz.
All right, Ryan, it was a hard-fought 2nd place here today. Another great finish for you. It looks like you had a very similar pace truck to Yazik there, but with the pit strategy and all the cautions, looked like you just threw you off strategy there and you couldn't hang with him.
Yeah, a little disappointed. Really thought like it was gonna be another win tonight. I really thought like I had a better truck than Evan and Brian. A little bit better on the long run, kind of even on the short run. Just once Brian Yazik pitted, I think it was 3rd to last caution or something like that, I knew we were done. I knew he was just going to come up through the field and fly by us. And on that restart, I just let him go because I wanted to have him and Evan fight it out, just if I got lucky to get 2nd, and I did. So overall, good race, but I really wanted that win. I really thought like I had a truck to get it.
What was it like? I mean, obviously it was, I mean, a ton of yellows here tonight. What did that do for your strategy on yellows with, was it a little confusing, or did you have any idea when you wanted to pit? Because when we had so many back-to-back, it must have made it a little bit of deciding for you to make.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Speaking of yellows, those were just so annoying because when I got beside Evan on one lap, and then the caution came out. And I was right on his bumper one lap, and the caution came out. If I got by Evan, I think I would have had a little bit of a better chance to win that race, but cautions just kept coming and coming. I just had no chance to pass him because I was stuck on the outside line on the restart. Pitting wise, I knew I wasn't going to pit in the last 40 laps because track position matters so much because there's still at least 25 people left, so I can't risk that track position.
Yeah, ultimately, I mean, we know how those calls are. Sometimes those fresh tires did it, but it's hard to complain about a second place finish, man. Who do you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Definitely Jim, running this league. Him and Tom did a great job tonight, and you guys for making the broadcast, and Evan and Brian for racing clean.
All right, 10-4, brother. I know you'll get some more victories. We'll be watching you.
Thank you.
All right, and now Brandon has caught up with our back-to-back winner in Cup and Truck, Brian Yazik.
Yeah, he's out of the race car now. Your winner here tonight at the Richmond Raceway ASRS Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Series, Brian Yazik. How do you feel?
That was pretty awesome, man. Like, you come out here on these short tracks and you really try and get everything to line up the way you need it to, and man, it just kind of worked.
Yeah, I mean, you showed pretty much domination all night tonight. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Yeah, I mean, we started up there in second spot. We could have had the pole, but we screwed up and tried digging a little bit too much there in our qualifying lap and caught the apron in this HPP simulation. Loud Pedal Motorsports Toyota Tundra, but once we got that lead on the pit stops, and we kind of beat Evan out of there, I just thought, all right, well, we'll hang out here and kind of see what happens. And then I watched Ryan kind of march up through the field, and I thought, I remember back to Martinsville, and I know he's a tough shoe on these short tracks too. So it just kind of worked out, and yeah, I mean, for the most part, it was fine out front. We led a bunch of laps, and that's always the best way to be, is out front, especially at these, I keep saying the phrase, especially at these short tracks, but, it just kind of worked out.
So tell us a little bit about these yellows and kind of stop and go type racing deal we had here tonight.
I mean, Richmond is a fun kind of rhythm-based track, so the more laps you spin on it, the kind of easier it gets to roll through there. But the really unique thing that I was noticing, and it may have just been me, over driving it or something like that, but it seemed like once the tires got a couple of heat cycles on them, they didn't grip the way that you needed them to, especially coming right out of the pits. So, we came out of the pits after Evan got us, and then Ryan got us on that next restart, and I was kind of sitting there thinking, if another caution comes out kind of in that 20-25 range, let's take it, because the heat cycles didn't work for me. It would dump truck kind of in 1 and 2, and it would just kind of bounce over the bumps out there in 3 and 4, and it just didn't work the way I wanted it to. So we got that caution, and I said, screw it, let's pit. I mean, let's try something. We're going for the win, we're going for the championship, we're going for the playoffs. A win's a great way to get in there. So we got lucky and got through some of the field there, and by God, it worked.
Absolutely it did. And what was going through your head in that last call? You were one of the only front runners to pit there.
Oh, I thought I screwed up. There's no way around that. I really thought I screwed up, but I just kind of, as I was sitting in the pit stall and we left pit road, I'm like, okay, we got to remember, when we're fresh out of the box, with these tires, no one can touch us. So that's what I had to kind of keep telling myself under pacing. And we got that restart and got all the way up to third before that next caution. And I went, all right, perfect. It kind of resets. And I thought maybe I knew I could get one heat cycle out of them, and kind of be all right. So that caution kind of worked out perfectly. Let me gather back up, because those guys were struggling through the corners a little bit, and we made our money on the exits there. But all in all, man, it's awesome. We're talking to you guys 2 weeks in a row. We got the Cup win last week. We got Richmond in the trucks this week. HPP Simulation, Loud Pedal Motorsports, AMSOIL by Adam Littell, Scott Ackridge chassis. I mean, we're all over this place, man.
Absolutely. Is there anyone else real quick that you'd like to thank or shout out to?
I mean, the one and only Jim Foose for putting this league on, and you guys for broadcasting. I can't wait to go back probably tomorrow and rewatch the broadcast. That'll be kind of fun. And I mean, yeah, it's just kind of awesome to park it here at Victor Lane. Also, shout out to Sam Maxwell and Sam Maxwell Customs for sponsoring the league. I forgot about him last week, or the last interview, and Sam does a lot for the league, and he really puts his money where his mouth is, and I just wanted to take a moment to recognize him and thank him for his contribution to ASRS.
Awesome job tonight on your victory. Coming home with the win, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Yazik.
All right, so congrats to Yazik indeed. So that is the post-race show here. We'll wrap up coverage with the final results. With the victory, as we said, Brian Yazik leading 77 laps, Ryan Hartz in second, Evan Black in third, Tom Gianni fourth, Jim Foose getting a top 5 tonight, Steve Buhala in sixth, Pete Baskins in seventh, Nick Curling in eighth, Clarence Bonner in ninth, and then rounding out your top 10 is Troy Haight. In the 11th position was Brad Cross, Evan Osborne finished 12th, John Kennedy 13th, Zach Calloway 14th, Andy Veltman in 15th, and then rounding out your top 20, Tim Knott, Scott Holler, Jason Stewart, Jordan Harnish, and Kevin Mingus, and the remaining results will flash by on the screen.
Yep, awesome broadcast once again here tonight. I'd like to thank Joe Chris behind the scenes here, Quality Control, Corey Silva for all the awesome work that he does with the channel, and most importantly, our channel sponsors. Without them, there wouldn't be a broadcast here every night for you guys, starting out with Movement Fabrications. They're a family-run business formerly established in 2012. With over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, they offer a wide range of services. This includes ventilation, ducting, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Movement Fabrications is a ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is always P1. Also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's two main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine with custom overlays, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon to keep broadcast quality high and cost low for the league owners. We need a little help from the fans. Be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a patron, you'll get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a patron at patreon.com/PTRTV. Also, shout out to our track cameras specialist here, Track Cams for Gourmet. You can see them and get some of these sweet views for yourself at trackcams22.com, or check them out at facebook.com/trackcams.
So that's another broadcast here on PTR TV, brought in the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series here at the Richmond Raceway. Congrats to Brian Yazik on tonight's victory. Stay tuned for tomorrow night. We have The Racer's Mind Episode 4 going live at 7:45 Eastern. Message us on Facebook with any topics you want us to go over, but we should have a pretty interesting show. Myself, Brandon, and Michael doing that. Of course, Rivalry Racing on Thursdays, Hardline Racing on Mondays, Integrity on Mondays, and ASRS every single Tuesday. A busy time on PTR TV. Don't miss any of the action. The drive for 500 is real. We are working towards it. If you are not sub, please help us out and hit that subscribe button. Signing out of the booth tonight is Corey Silva and Brandon Krutz. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night. Catch you next time.